Let's go. It's wonderful. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna make another art journal page. First of all, I'm gonna gesso my album, my page with clear gesso from Art Basics. The art journal is from Dina Wigley, Ranger. The pages are very thirsty, so I always put first a coat of gesso when I want to work with collage, and paint. It's the color is white, but when it gets dried it will be clear, obviously, because it's clear gesso. And now I can check in between. Just keep this aside because I'm gonna work with, let me see, I'm gonna work with Collage Ephemera, Little Persons, Industrial, from Maremi Small Art. I've done this page already, to do another page with it. To see what I like, and I cannot use all images because a lot of images are big, obviously, or too small. Like this one would be very nice on an ATC card or just a card. These ones in a bigger journal. And I think these ones, let me see, is this size, yeah, that can go in this small art journal. Oh, I quite like this one, or maybe this one. Let me check a little bit further if I see something else. It has a lot of images inside. It's really worth your money, and I absolutely adore the images inside. Maybe this one is also nice. They're all too nice. Sometimes I can't even pick. Okay, it's gonna be between either this one or this one, and I think I'm gonna choose this one. So I'm gonna pick it out. Just rip it against my hand so it doesn't go too far. Do I want background with that? And you see, you always get a bonus page. That I like also. They are all from different books, so you get an idea how it the other books looks inside. Just stunning. I like this one with the gears. So what they going to be? Because I want to take the whole thing out, but I don't want to go by the plant. And even if I don't use everything from this image, I can save it and use it somewhere else. So, and you can see the back, it has all the same images, so if there's parts free like this one, you can just use the back also. So that's what is nice about the book also. And all the paper that I'm tearing, I'm just keeping it in the beginning, so that I know what paper I still have left. Okay, I think I'm gonna fuzzy cut it instead of tearing. So let me see. What I can do, because obviously some parts like the laces and everything I'm not gonna fuzzy cut. Those ones I'm just gonna take them off and then draw them in later on. I'm gonna leave the round thing because I like it, and then that little one, I'm gonna cut it out because the fuzzy cut is too much and it's gonna break anyway because it is too small to fuzzy cut. How far did I go down on this one? Okay, here. So the little drips are going also, but as I said, I'm not gonna throw it away. This is for the big piece. Then I'm gonna cut in between. This is doable because it's a little bit bigger. And you can take a smaller scissor if you want to. I like this scissor. It's a little bit bold. I also have a smaller one, but for now this one is fine for me. And you can see I'm when I fuzzy cut, most of the time I don't move my scissor, but I move the paper. It's easier to cut. At least that is what I think. I find it easier to move the paper. If you have to move the scissor, then you cut more away than you want. Okay. So this little charming lady is out. This one, I don't know what I want, so I will check later. You can see now the gesso is dried for me to work over. I think I'm gonna use this one. They are gears, and we have gears here also. Take the papers out. These are the stamps from Marta and the stencils that I have. I like this a lot. I use it a lot, and obviously also the text. I use all of them anyway a lot, but I think because it's gear, I'm gonna use this one, and then this one I'm undecidable except for the flower. I don't want the flower, and there's gears here, so maybe and maybe. Okay, what do I want to do with my background? I can use this one here, put it here. Maybe here. And this piece, I think this is going to work for me, only I want that piece out because I think it's a shame to just paste the little lady over it. So let me draw a little bit around. You can see this whole piece here. So I will just tear away this part because it's a shame not to use it again and to cover it up. That's not what I want. It's too beautiful to cover up. Okay, need an eraser. So I can erase the pencil mark that I made before. Okay, let me keep these ones away for now, and I'm going to use it like so. So I have this part over. This one was painted from this side a little bit too far, but I think I want to use the oxide ink with, let me grab, because there's a little bit pink inside, there's blue inside. This is purple and this is brown, maybe, and maybe linen, antique linen. Yeah. So I've used these on gesso before, but on the white gesso, but not on the this particular transparent gesso from Art Basic. So I don't know how they are going to behave. I hope they behave well. So let me first see if I add water, and I'm going to protect this side with a cloth because I'm going to spray water, so that means that it goes all over the place. Actually, I think it's gonna behave very well. Let me see until how far. Okay, almost, and then the part under. So let me help it a little bit. And here. So I'm going to move it a little bit. Around. And then I will use this one here. If I didn't gesso my page before, it will just all sink into the paper, and it's not going to be seen at all. So okay, stamping it a little bit to give it more texture. I quite like what is going on here, so of course it has to fit in. So the transition from this color to that color, because I can see here on this side a little bit better. Let me dip it in and see what is going to happen. Because the color is not really a little bit of water. Let me see how the paper is going to behave. I don't know, trying this for the first time with the oxide, so just experimenting a little. But look at the side here is also because every time when this dries and you put wet in it, it will move again because they are not water resistant. But I like the transition so far. And actually I think I'm gonna glue it in so it can come, and I'll do that also with the gesso. Only now I will wait for the top, because you can see it soaks in. So I'm gonna wait for the top. Should have thought of that before. Well, we are experimenting, so if it doesn't look fine, we have gesso to go over it and make it different. And it was like this. Okay, finger work, because the oxide have to go and soak the paper, but it's doing it well and it's nice. I have to be careful with this one. If it's gonna look nice, and then if I this part so it doesn't go on this image. Let me secure the gear and here. And I'm keeping my gesso close if I need it. So what I have to do now is dry it. So I'm gonna dry it and then I will come back to you. Okay, it's dried. So let me tell you what I did, because the page looks a little bit more different now. I've used Fix Basic. It's a fixative spray, and the name says it already. It fixates what you did. Normally, I use these ones with my pan pastel, but because the oxides, every time when they get wet, they move again. So I wanted to see if the fixative will help. Well, it took me almost 5 to 6 coats, and it's still a little bit tacky. You can see it's coming because every time when I wet it with the fixative, it moves a little less, but it is still moving because, yeah, the color is coming up with the fixative. When I spray it, it gets wet. So that's what I did. So I want to leave it a little bit to dry, but before I want to use the diamond stencil, also from Maremi. It's one from the beginning, and I want to use it let me see how I'm gonna put her, like this. So I want a little bit here and a little bit there. And I'm gonna do that with the structure paste from Dodge Doobadoo. It's almost finished, as you can see, and is also a little bit thicker than it normally is. I'm gonna use the last bit. It's the last one. It's all the way finished now. And I'm going to hold it firm a little bit because it's thicker. So you can see, even with the fixative, the color is coming through, but not as much as it would have if I wouldn't have done and fix it with the fixer spray. So to use a little bit here. So that is the last I'm having. Here, because of the cloth that I'm holding here, it's a little bit in between the lines, so I will take a little bit off, but not all. Don't need to do all. just a little bit so you see the under, and then this one is done. Clean it with a baby wipe. Yeah, someone's best friends with arting. For your own hands, for your surface, for everything. So that was the stencil diamond that I've used. The stamping maybe later, but I want to use, before I put it away, let me come and see how many I need, because I always have some die cut it already. They are different shapes. Yeah, from EDC. ECD, I mean. So, I want this pretty girl here. Then I want some gears. This one is not all the way done, so this part I can take it off and push it here. Then this one can go on top. That's why I'm not gluing her down yet. I will not throw this away because I can use it maybe somewhere else. I don't want any other big ones, and I think this one is too bold, so I'm going to be using these. Then I have some little ones. Oh, sorry. Maybe I should keep it on one side. Okay. Let me see if I use this one here. That would be nice, I think. So let me take paper off because I'm gonna make a mess now. I want the gears to look old also. So I'm going to play with them, and I have, okay, I'm going to use these ones. They have hard bristles. Every time when it gets too hard or things are coming off, I just clean them with warm water and hand soap, and then they are good to go again. So let me just take this off. These guys are really fun to work with. I have a lot of my hand and under my nail now, but this is Cadence Distress Paste, and it's a little bit thicker, and it's what I'm going to use for my gears. So if you use paint or paste or whatever on your paper, don't leave it in the spot where you've painted, because if you do, the paper will get stuck inside and you can't get it out anymore unless you break it, or it's even all the way glued and you can't use it anymore because it's glued in the leftover from the paint. So always take it, put it on a different spot. And you can also do this on a mat. I didn't want to do it on my black mat because then I'm working there. So I'm doing it a little on my glass mat. So for color 1, because I'm going to use more colors and maybe later come back to this one. So I'm closing it, and I was thinking, instead of me dirtying my glass mat and later I'll be in there with my elbows, let me clean this one off while it's wet, and then I use the baking mat. So I have two types of orange, greenish, green bluish, and these are the colors I want to use for making them look old. So I'm going with the most bold color now. And with cadence, you always have to put a plastic because they last so long. You can use them, of course, for a long time, but then it also means that they will dry out and get hard. So every time when I use them, when I close them again, when I finish, I spray a little water inside, put the plastic, and close it. So moving it again from the spot that I've used it. You can see it's only a little goes a long way, even come on, even what I have here is too much, so just little. This one I don't need anymore because it's the bold color. As I said, I'll spray a little water inside, put the plastic back, close it, and then I put it upside down. I prefer upside down, but you don't have to. Okay, the green and the two oranges. So you can see this one is getting hard already. I wish I like the big pots because if you do big projects and you need a lot, then you can use a lot. But when you have small projects like this, it also would be fine if there's just a small pot. I prefer to buy the small pot, and then I'll know I'll be using everything, because I don't like wasting it, obviously, because you've paid for it. So you can see here, there, everywhere. I'm just to make it a little bit of a color. It will dry. It has a texture inside, so that is also helpful. So now for the lighter one, I can still go with this. And this one, the lighter one, I will tap it into the orange to give the orange like two colors. But you can see it gets already an old look, a vintage look. A rusty effect. There's so many different. Let me just pour a little bit of water in here to dry up anyway with all the warmth that we are having here. And the one left is this green, and I'm gonna use this because it's almost like the blue. So I'll put a little, not too much, and then I will just let it dry. I have enough on my dabbers to use even in my image if I want to. So this is where my image is going to be. I have my dabber, and I'm still going because the white is too white for me, but it's dried already, so I'm gonna use the rest of my paint that is on top, just to also make it old, and you can see the colors go in well with the oxides also. The brown I will use last, so I use the bold colors first on my page, the other way around. Because I want to blend them in more. And that they don't look too much white. a little bit for the edges. And then I think it's enough, but I'm not going to put my dabbers away because I might still need them. But you can see how it all blends in well. So I will see you just now. I'm gonna go over it with my heat gun, so it's gonna be very dry. I'll see you just now. So I've dried it, and I've dried the gears, so now everything is dried. Now I can assemble it the way I want to, and also still do a little bit of stamping. The stamping I'm going to do in black, and I want to use this round one because I like it, so I will it doesn't need to be real bold, and you probably won't see it on the camera now until I come closer. Just a little bit here. Yeah. Okay. That's enough for me. So, oops. The lady comes like this, a little bit out. The gear. And under. Using this one. Half. And a half one there. So this is how I'm going to glue them down. So this small one first. And you can see it's not really extra thick paper that I've used. I'm holding a damped baby wipe. To take my excess glue off, and I'm gluing them down with the glue pen from Dutch Doobadoo. Okay, I want it here. And then the blue part a little bit up. I'm not gonna cut it in half. Normally I will cut it when it's under the image, so I can use the rest of it, but it's almost nothing, so I'm not gonna do that. You see me using the damp baby wipe to press down my gears, and the glue that comes to the side out of it, you will pick it up. It's clear glue anyways, but this one I have to check again. here. Okay, so again with my damp cloth, holding it down, taking the extra glue off. Maybe I will put this one here instead of further down. I will see if I like it better. Or should I take the big one here and the small one there? It's also possible a little bit this way, like so. It's also nice because I still want to see my gears, and I think I'm gonna cut it. I said I wouldn't do it, but I think I'm gonna cut it and then use this one here and here because it looks nicer. Or no, sorry, decisions. This one is coming up here, and this one is coming over this gear here, as you can see, from under out. So yeah, it looks like they are one, and then this one is coming on top and under. These glue pens, they are so handy to use. I like them a lot. They are my favorite. This one is set also. Okay, now this one is glued down. I'm going to take my gesso again because all the colors that is in there, I don't want it in my image. So what I'm going to do is like I did it before, gesso on the back and gesso on the front. Let me take this one. So what I'm doing is putting a good layer of my gesso, and you can also use glue if you want to, because that seals it also. It's just about sealing. You can also use other types of glue or gel medium, but this is just thin paper, so no. Under and up, hoping that the color that is there is not coming off too many. It's just there, so I'm gonna be careful here. Quickly dry it. It's gonna be easy for shading also. So I want to go a little bit over my gears, if you would take it, and over the structure paste. You can see it's moving here. Why am I doing this? Because I want to shadow. And if you want to shadow, if you put something underneath that is going to be like a surface that you can use for rubbing on it, so it's a smooth surface, then it helps you to shade, and it also helps you not to ruin your pens, because with all the layers that we put on this page and the structure paste and all those kind of things, so your pen is not going to be happy if you if you're gonna draw over it. So to avoid that, we are going to use the clear gesso, and it helps. So we have to let it dry a little bit. So I've dried everything well, and I'm gonna finish it off with shading, but also with highlight, low light. I don't know which one I'm gonna use now. These are waxes. These are for Cadence, and these are from Art Alchemy. Prima marketing. So look for my two blacks for shading. Here. So this one is from Pentel, and this one Tombow. So use them a lot for shading, because if you go over them, they you can rub them. And also from Faber-Castell, the B you can use. So for shading, what you do, and then you rub it out, and you can see now, because of the gesso is really moving, and if I wouldn't have used the gesso, because you will see some spots still, maybe that I forgot to touch, but you will see the difference, because the gesso you can rub it, and where there's no gesso you can't rub it. Make a sort of a surface where she's standing on. So you can see a little bit here in the middle, I didn't use much gesso, so the rubbing there is a little bit more difficult. hope, yeah, it's working on my paper. So you see now, even if you use water, you can take it off if you use too much. Or if you want to tone it down a little bit, then you take your damp cloth and then it takes it a little bit more away. You can see here now that I've didn't use so much gesso there, so it's going directly into the paper, but it's not a problem. Let me do here also to emphasize it. Okay. So I've emphasized now the shadows, and I've used it with a damp cloth, so I want to be using a little bit of the highlight so that the darkness is not too much. You just need really a little bit on your finger, and then I put it on my mat so I can take it from there. And what you do is you start rubbing, and you can see this is diamond, and all it does is emphasize a little bit the color that I've used, so it's not covering the color. So some of the parts I can just go over it, rub it with my finger, and then you have the highlight, so everything is not as dark. And especially when you go by the structure paste, you just really rub it in so you have more on the side, so it lights up a little bit. And then you emphasize it with the wax, of course, and it lights all up, and you can see the difference now. I still want a weeny tiny little bit here. I want a little bit on the glass from the goggles to make it shiny, and a little bit on those small buttons and things on the clothing, and that is it. So you have to pick the color that you need. Always take some out so you can see. But this is the page I've made. I hope you like it. This is the close-up. You can see that it has dimension, and that it has a whole lot of texture, and the difference between the two, because you can see the shadow here. I didn't do it because there's a highlight here already from the paper, so I didn't touch it anymore when I did this one. So that is the difference between the shadow and the highlight, or not using highlight. So this is done with the beautiful paper from Maremi Small Art. So it's a different way to use the paper. So as always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, as it helps the channel to move on further. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you the next time. Bye.